Have breaking news.
Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and citations to the elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect, warning the whole world of the return of Yahweh Shai, all right? And we're seeing the beginning stages, all right, of what's going to happen right before Yahushua returns, man. Like the scriptures say, before the Lord even comes, the earth is, the fire shall be kindled. All right. Yeah, all right. Shall the earth be, the earth. Let's get it, man. All right. Luke 12:49 says, I am come to send fire on earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? Okay, the earth is on fire, man. And it's going to get even worse and worse and worse. All right, is not the earth on fire? Okay. Protests, uprisings, mass unalivings, mass death and suffering, wars on top of wars, rumors of wars. All right. World War III has already started, All right. The Strait of Hormuz is closed. Okay. All types of shit is going on and it's not going to stop. Okay. The earth is on fire and the fire's going to get bigger and bigger. All right. And the Lord's going to bring the fire of all fires, the nuclear missiles, okay, to destroy America off the face of the planet, like the scriptures say. All right, that the scriptures say. Let's get it. All right. The eyes of the Lord, sinful king. Yeah, Amos 9:8 says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom. All right, and this sinful kingdom that is talking about America. Okay, the most wicked kingdom and rulership of all time. All right, and you can't tell me otherwise. All right, so the Lord is focused on America. All right, like the scriptures say, no more shall it be said that the Lord saveth his people out of the land of Egypt, but it shall now be said, all right, but it will it shall be said that the Lord saveth his people out of the land of the north. All right, and that's spiritually, that's literally talking about America. All right, if you want to believe it or not, it says, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. All right. So Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is going to destroy America off the face of the planet. After the Lord is done with it, it's going to look totally different. It's going to be a big old desert, and it's going to be differently shaped, okay, because all the nuclear missiles that are going to hit America, which will be 200 million of them, okay, that's going to shape America into a different, geography, okay. It's also going to turn it into a big old desert, all right. Think of the Sahara Desert in North Africa. All right, just imagine America being a whole desert, okay? That's what it's going to be like, all right? After the conclusion of World War III, all right? It says, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So, yeah, everybody here in America will be destroyed by nuclear fire besides the Lord's elect that he will save out of America right before the nuclear missiles, the 200 million nuclear missiles hit America that will be shot from all these countries, all right? And the Lord is setting the stage for all these countries to come up against America, okay? World War III is happening. It started, all right? And the conclusion of it is going to be these countries, all right, shooting all their missiles, 200 million of them, at America, okay? And the Lord is going to save his elect prophets out of America by way of his chariots, the so-called UFOs, beaming them up, tractor beaming them up, so-called abducting them up, for lack of better words, into the chariots, the so-called UFOs, right before the nuclear missiles hit America. And everybody that is not the elect will be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. All right. And I can end off the lesson right there, but I want to show you this TikTok and bring out some precepts, okay? Because, hey, this world, this kingdom is done for, man. Esau, the so-called white man's rulership, it's over, all right? It's on a very fast, speedily decline, okay? For lack of better words, okay? We all know that roller coaster, a roller coaster ride, it goes up slowly, and at its peak, everybody goes like, ah, and then once it goes down fast, okay? Just like lightning, like the scriptures say, the devil, Satan, falleth from heaven like lightning, he's, this devil who's been on top of the whole world for ages, he's falling like lightning. All right, it was like a year ago. Hey, this devil, was untouchable. All right. A few years ago, Israel wasn't being attacked and bombed and whatnot. But now, Israel's being shot at by missiles on top of missiles, and they're breaking the Iron Dome. These people in Israel are trying to hide in the bunkers and evacuating Israel because these Iranian missiles and weapons are hitting. All right. Are actually hitting that land. It's being touched, okay? And America is falling. Its supreme authority over the whole world is crumbling fast, man. All right, so I want to show you this TikTok. Slack you, and then bring out some precepts, okay?
We have breaking news and updates on Iran and everything going on in the world. CNN is quoted as stating, "We're not showing you that because the Israeli government doesn't allow us or want us to show where that may come from." A major American news network just admitted on air that a foreign government is controlling what you see, not suggesting it, not implying it, confessing it. Speaker Johnson calls Islam a misguided religion from the House floor. The CIA arms Kurdish militias for regime change. And now CNN confirms Israel is managing the visual narrative of a war American taxpayers are funding with their lives and $220 million a day. You're not seeing the full picture by design. So they were showing a missile not being intercepted. And they can't show that because they don't want to show Israel is losing the war with Iran. And UK Ministry of Defense says the Shahed-like drone that targeted RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus was not launched from Iran. Caroline Leavitt has lied yet again, and I'm calling it out flat out as it is. She said, with respect to Spain, I think they heard the president's message yesterday loud and clear, and it's my understanding over the past several hours they've agreed to cooperate with the United States military. The president expects all of our European allies, or of course, to cooperate in this long sought after mission. So she just lied, stating that Spain has now changed their mind and said, you know what, you can use our bases, you can use our airspace, you can use our country to attack Iran. They were watching the news and they immediately stated, we deny the White House claims of shift in military base policy. And Iran continues to assert its control over the Strait of Hormuz, directly challenging Trump to escort ships into the strait. By Trump saying just go ahead through the strait, he is not realizing that there are more lives to be lost. And Iran has already said we will be targeting every ship that attempts to go through the strait, which is what they've already been doing. And Lebanese resistance targets Iron Dome radars in Kiryat Eliezer and Palmachon air base using drones. Now, this comes after criminal aggression against dozens of Lebanese cities and towns, including the southern suburb of Beirut. And Macron released a very long statement. I'm only going to read half of it. I spoke with Bibi as well as the president of the Lebanese Republic and Prime Minister Nawaf Salam to discuss the situation in Lebanon, which is very concerning. I reiterated the need for Hezbollah to immediately cease its attacks against Israel and beyond. But he also said, likewise, I urge the Israeli Prime Minister to preserve Lebanon's territorial integrity and to refrain from a ground offensive. It is important that the parties return to the ceasefire agreement. France will continue together with its partners to support the efforts of the Lebanese armed forces so that they can fully carry out their missions of sovereignty and put an end to the threat posed by Hezbollah. He is playing both sides of the fence. And a spokesman for the Iranian armed forces stated, if you strike our embassy, we will strike yours. Up until now, in consideration for countries around the world, we have not touched the embassies of the Israeli regime. If the Israeli regime targets the Iranian embassy in Lebanon, we will definitely target all of its embassies. And this is Tel Aviv, like 35 minutes ago. And Spain again, they issued two statements after Caroline Levin ran her mouth. Spain's Foreign Minister Jose Manuel Alvarez flatly denied the claim, saying the government's position on war with Iran has not changed one iota. Madrid has said it will not allow U.S. bases in southern Spain to be used for strikes on Iran unless actions fall under the UN Charter. And Iran's president thanked them for that. Trump claimed he had destroyed Iran's naval forces, but the situation at sea now tells a different story. He said the U.S. can no longer send its fleet to evacuate those stuck in the Gulf or reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The IRGC says it's destroyed 7 advanced enemy radars, adding that the eyes of the United States and Israel in the region have been blinded. But they're not going to play this out on Fox News, are they? And Trump stated if we didn't hit within 2 weeks, they would have had a nuclear weapon. Would have, meaning future tense, not present tense, not past tense. And lastly, I saved the very worst for last. The president had a feeling, again, based on fact, that Iran was going to strike the United States, and he made a determination to launch Operation Epic Fury. This reporter writes, so the United States bombed and went to war with Iran based off Trump's feelings. That's like me saying, I have a feeling based off facts, my man is cheating on me. I'm going to go and fight somebody. Off of what facts? What facts when you are doing it based off feelings? These people are too emotional. And hundreds of lives have now been lost. And they're claiming that only 6, when Russia, China, Iran, Iraq, and multiple other countries have stated it's almost at 1,000 for American lives. We have breaking news.
So yeah, man, prophecy is happening before our eyes, and we can't say that enough. All right, I can't say that enough. Okay, the things that have been written aforetime are happening right now, man. Okay. In the form the EU nations, they're right in the fence. All right, they don't want war. They want peace. You know, France was saying, they want a ceasefire. You know, okay, that they'll step in, but it's for a ceasefire, man. But they're telling Israel, hey, stop. They're telling Hezbollah to stop. Hey, everybody just stop. Spain is like, what the hell's going on? All right, but hey, I see Israel, and if these EU nations, these European nations don't step in, I see Israel attacking them or doing a FALSEFLAG attack on these EU nations, okay, to get them to rile them up. All right, these EU nations, they're gonna hop in this war, man. All right, and they're gonna side against America and Israel, okay, eventually, because it's prophesied, man. And I guess we could see it happening, man, because hey, Europe is close to Iran. All right. Okay, and these EU nations are pissed off. These European nations are pissed off. They're like, hey, man, just everybody, stop tripping, man. They're trying to put water on the fire, quench the fire, but they can't. They're not going to be able to, man. And them, they're gonna get so pissed off that they're gonna start siding with Iran and the BRICS nations to go against America. All right, because really, America started this, man. Israel started this, actually, and made America attack Iran and whatnot, because America does whatever Israel does, Yeah, America does whatever Israel tells them to do, okay? Like the scriptures say, the least of the flock shall draw them out, all right? Israel is the one that started all this, all right? That's making America attack Iran and to start this, man. All right. Okay. And Israel's going to continue on, starting shit, man. All right. And America's going to continue on siding with Israel. All right. Because America's basically Israel, 50 states Israel, Okay. you know. And Esau, the so-called white man, lying on Spain, saying, "Oh yeah, Spain said it's okay," and then Spain was watching the news, was like, "What the fuck? No, we didn't. We didn't say you could come over here and station yourselves over here in Spain. What the hell?" And I see that America, might send troops anyway, might lie on Spain, say that Spain said, "Oh, it was okay," when really it wasn't okay, and then bang, America forces themselves into Spain anyway off a lie, and then Spain gets so pissed off, that Spain and America start attacking each other, all right, fighting each other, all right, and bang, the EU nations are gonna side with Spain, then these European countries and nations, they're gonna eventually side with Iran and Russia and whatnot, side against America because it's prophesied, man. And then at the same time, Israel, America News, CNN, Fox News, they're hiding, all right, the destruction that's happening in Israel, Tel Aviv, all right, they're not allowed to see that, and they just admitted, all right, let's show you.
We have breaking news and updates on Iran and everything going on in the world. CNN is quoted as stating, "We're not showing you that because the Israeli government doesn't allow us or want us to show where that may come from." A major American news network just admitted on air that a foreign government is controlling what you see, not suggesting it, not implying it, confessing it. Speaker Johnson calls Islam...
You hear that? They're confessing. They're like, the scriptures say, Slakia, man. I just ate a whole bunch of wings. The scriptures say, their tongues shall fall upon themselves, which means, they're going to tell on each other, just finally admit, how they are, their wickedness, their lies, what they've been doing, what they are doing, and they're admitting that a foreign country, aka Israel, all right, it doesn't want them, or controls what they get to show you United States citizens, what you're able to see on a United States news platform. Israel controls, all right, controls that, man. Because Israel, they're getting bombed, they're getting messed up over there, all right, by Hezbollah, Lebanon, okay. And Israel doesn't want these Americans to see that, because Israel wants America to see Israel as, this pure, untouchable, holier than thou country and people, when they're really not. They're the seed of Satan. All right, that land is holy, but it's cursed and tainted right now because of the people that are in there. The seed of Satan, Amalek, the grandchild of Esau, the so-called white man, okay? The fake JEWs living in there, man. All right? They're messing everything up, and they control you Americans. They control your news network. They control your entertainment. They control every aspect of America, all right? And they're just now admitting it, all right? They've been controlled it, It's just you Americans want to listen to everything that the news says, all right? Listen to every lie that comes out of the devil's, the so-called white man's mouth, And this is going to lead to your destruction, man, all right? The scriptures say, "Woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help," all right, because their horses are strong and their chariots are strong, are powerful. Yeah, America's powerful. Yeah, the white man's powerful, and he's strong. All right, but that's because the Lord set him up like that. All right, not because he's righteous and chosen. He's chosen to be wicked and to rule the earth right now, but he's not a chosen people. He's not the Lord's people. He's not the Israelites. Okay. So our people, us, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, trust in the white man. All right. And this is who you trust, man. And if you continue on trusting them, that's why our people, you Americans, all right, the Israelites of, in America, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in America, this is why you're all surprised and gasping and like, oh, no way, what's going on? No way, why is this? And they're tripping and whatnot, complaining on on social media and TikTok and whatnot, freaking out, all surprised of the things that's going on. It's because you trusted in the white man. You trusted in oppression. You trusted in Egypt. Us men of Yahweh Shemi Shai, us prophets of the Lord, we're not surprised. We're happy. We've been looking for this. We've been expecting this. We've been telling you about this. We've been believing in this. We've been having faith in the Lord about this happening. We knew this was about to happen and gonna happen eventually, man. And because the Lord has revealed it unto us through His Holy Spirit and His wisdom and knowledge of His word. Okay, we've been telling you these things that are happening right now, all right, for decades, before I was even alive. The apostles were telling you this, man, okay? We've been telling you that this was going to happen, and it's happening, all right? Exactly how the Lord told us, revealed unto us that it would happen, all right? This is Lamentations 4:17. It says, as for us, all right, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain, all right, hopeless, vain help, all right. We all know what vain means, all right, for nothing, empty. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for us, our vain help, all right. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us, okay? Our people have trusted in their oppressors, okay? Isaiah 30:12 says, therefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity, all right, you people fallen, you Israelites, you blacks, Latinos, you Native Americans following after, all right, trusting in oppression, all right, your enemy, the so-called white man, all right, thinking that he's God, all right, setting up the white man as Jesus Christ, and putting these pictures of white man Jesus in all of your houses and worshiping it, Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. All right? And that's what's happening, man. It's falling. All right? All right, your trust, your hope in this wicked-ass fucking place is falling, man. All right, the scriptures say to arise and depart, for this is not your rest. All right, you jakes are tripping. You're like, man, just as everything was going good for me, just, now World War III has to happen. Yeah, motherfucker, it is going to happen, and good for it. At today's break or meeting at work today, it's Thankful Thursday. And I wanted to tell everybody exactly what I was thankful for these prophecies to pop, for these prophecies happening, man. All right, the war, the shit that's going down in the Middle East. I'm thankful for that. The water Yahweh Shemi Shai, and everything else that's going on prophetically, man. Okay. I'm thankful that this world is effing crumbling. I sleep good at night lately, seeing these prophecies happening, man. All right, America falling. The capital I country, fake JEW country, being hit by missiles. Iran going crazy. I believe it's up to 1,000 now. U.S. military troops being, KILLED'd. All right, unalived in the Middle East. Americans trapped in Dubai, unable to leave, and missiles are hitting them, I'm happy for that, man. I'm thankful for that, man. Fuck this place. This place was built off wickedness and the destruction and the bloodshed. All right. Of the Lord's chosen people, us, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, this place has done nothing but oppressed us. We have to pay for literally every single little fucking aspect of our life. This was never so in all of history, man. And you people don't give a shit. As long as you're able to go to your 9 to 5, barely get by, at least have a couple $100 left in your bank account after you pay all your fucking bills for the next 2 weeks, you know, you good. You get to go party, get to do whatever, wickedness, smoke weed, commit adultery, not worry about shit, spend your money on whatever the fuck you want, you know, get tattoos and bullshit like that. You don't give a fuck what happens. You know, as long as you're able to continue on doing that, go to church, wicked church, you know, celebrate these wicked ass holidays, celebrate your birthday. All that shit's wicked, man, in the eyes of the Lord, you know. So Tawadi Haba Shemil Shai, you know. So back to Lamentations 4:17, it says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Okay. Verse 21 says, I'm gonna continue reading. It's verse 18. It says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. All right, the wickedness of this place, you wicked ass 2/3 of our people, your time has come. Wickedness, sin, all right, evil has ran its course, and it's time to pay. And it's gonna, you know, wickedness is gonna have to pay with bloodshed and destruction and nuclear fire, like the scriptures say. You know, the first death was with water, all right, and the second death is gonna be by fire. All right, talking about the Lord cleansing the world of its evil. The Lord cleansed the earth with water the first time. Okay, talking about the flood, the great flood. The Lord's gonna cleanse the earth the second time, this time, but with fuel of fire, nuclear missiles, man. World War III. Okay, verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. Talking about the so-called white man. His favorite bird is the eagle. He you know, that's his spirit, the eagle. Okay, that's how he handles things. That's how he is. He's as the eagle. All right, his military, his air force, the way he conquers nations. You know, the way he dresses. You know, because back in the day, you know, they would wear those white wigs and then the suits, you know, looking like eagles, you know. If you ever know, I noticed that in the spirit. Anyway, it says they pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord, was taken in their pits, in whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. All right, talking about America. All right, that's the daughter of Edom. It says, that dwellest in the land of Uz, the cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Okay, America is spiritually drunk. All right, and it's showing its ass, man. All right, everybody's finding out the truth about America and the white man ruling the whole world and what he's about, and that he's Satan that the Bible speaks of. All right, these Epstein files. All right, everybody's finding out that, hey, you know, he's the white man's the one that's starting all these fucking wars. All right, he started all this shit. He's the one that, you know, he's the real TERRORIST of the world. Okay, he's the one that's lying. He's the devil that deceived the whole world. Okay, he's become naked, spiritually naked. When somebody's naked, they're revealed. Okay, the secret parts about them is being revealed. Okay, the Epstein files, etc. The punishment of thine iniquity, sin, is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. he will no more carry thee away into captivity. All right, because hey, the scriptures say that better is the end of a thing. You know, the end of our judgment, the end of our captivity, being ruled over, all right, under these heathens for thousands and thousands, empires after empires, thousands and thousands of years. It's over, man. All right. The Lord has to destroy this wicked kingdom. He has to purify the whole world of evil and wickedness and the rulership of these heathens. And the Lord says he's going to do that with fire, nuclear fire. Okay? It's not going to be pretty. Every kingdom, every empire that has happened and came up and ruled, it was taken down by violence. Every kingdom that has been propped up and started had to be, violence and destruction had to happen for it to be established. So how much more so the kingdom of heaven? A lot of violence and destruction and bloodshed and fire has to happen on earth, all right, to establish the most righteous and amazing, kingdom, an eternal kingdom, a forever kingdom, all right? And that's what's happening, man. The purification, the restart button, all right? The Lord is about to press restart and hold it for a while, completely refresh the whole world of its wickedness, okay? The scriptures say the earth shall go to and fro like a drunkard. It's going to shake like a drunk person, man. The earth, So, like the scriptures say, there shall be a great earthquake, when the Lord returns. That's talking about the earth shaking so effing hard and much because of all the explosions from the 200 million nuclear missiles and plus, all right? So imagine the biggest earth, the whole earth is going to be a whole worldwide earthquake, It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom, America. He will discover thy sins, all right? And the sins and the wickedness and the evil of this place has been revealed, okay? Isaiah 47:1, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. This is the virgin daughter of Babylon, is America, all right? And America is now sitting in the dust, all right? Is literally losing the war and will lose this war. Everybody's saying America's going to lose this war if they continue on. But they're forced to continue on all sides, all right? Israel, all right, is making them go to war because they're exposing everybody in America. All right, talking about the elites and the leaders of America. Israel is exposing them for the Epstein bullshit and whatnot, for how wicked they are. And they have no other choice but to go to war. And they're making them go to war. And then Iran, is not stopping, all right? So, hey, man. America's losing. America's shooting. They're bombing paintings on the ground. They're shitting their pants so much that they're shooting at targets that's not even there. They're losing, man. They lost a whole bunch of roughly 1,000 some odd U.S. Troops. All right, they've been destroyed. Whole bunch of military bases. U.S. military bases are being destroyed as we speak in the Middle East by Iran. Iran's shots are hitting, So America's, sitting in the dust, man. All right. Even over here in the homeland, in America, all right, these people are America's degrading. The streets and these cities the scriptures say the sown places shall suddenly become unsown. All right, there's homeless people, Skid Row, that's a commonplace, all right, in America now. It's not just that every big city has homeless populations, man, within it, man. The streets are just suck, all right? The cities compare the cities in America to the cities around the world, America looks like shit. America's becoming a third world country, man. You know? You know? So yeah, man, America, the Virgin daughter of Babylon is sitting in the dust right now, man. When you sit in the dust, that's a low point, you know? Or you're in timeout, you're in a low spot, you know? You're down bad, all right? Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right, these countries are realizing America for what it is, all right? A scam, a Ponzi scheme, okay? And these countries are like, hell, you know, we're not dealing with you no more, man. America, look at America now, you know? All right. America's being touched. America's looking rough, not delicate no more. Verse 2, it says, take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. All right, the Lord is exposing America for what it actually is, okay? Thy nakedness, all right, secrets, okay, shall be uncovered. All right, yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right. These countries, the people of the whole world are not praising America as it used to be praised no more, man. Even the Americans themselves are done with it, man. All right. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, all right, the Lord of armies, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shai. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. All right. People are done with America. All right. And World War III is about to pop off. All right. It's already popped off, Slovakia, but hey, it's only going to get worse for America until the nuclear missiles hit. Okay. And that's it. The scriptures say 1 hour shall, this kingdom be destroyed. So it's only going to take the Lord 1 hour to destroy America. Okay. And that's going to be by way of 200,000 horsemen. And those horsemen aren't horsemen. They're nuclear missiles. Okay. 200,000 times 1,000, that's 200 million. All right. That's going to take 1 hour to destroy America. All right. And after that, the kingdom of heaven forever. All right. So I hope this was edifying to the elect. Shalom.